What is up, my people? My people, what is up? This is the KillaKrane himself coming into you live. It is the KillaKrane Speak Some. It is December the 15th, 2023. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. All that good stuff. All right, all right. We had Mr. John Doe. I think he's having some technical difficulties. Let me grab something right quick that blew away from me. Okay, okay. You guys, how are you doing today? We're going to continue on, even though we are waiting for Mr. John Doe to come back. But I have left a link in my Facebook page and on my personal Facebook page. If you guys want to join today, we have a very, very fun podcast today. Excuse me. So let's get started. First of all, we always do the birthday shout outs and any other shout outs that we want to give people. And the first shout out I want to give is to the beautiful, the gorgeous Miss Sherry Johnson. She plays Maxine on the show Family Matters. Now, I know I'm late because her birthday is November the 21st, and she was born on 1975. However, the KillaKrane himself is outside of the realm of time and space. So I don't have to apologize for anything. And plus, I forgot to do it on her birthday when we did a podcast. So she is 48 years sexy. Yes. And you guys can agree with me. She is 48 years sexy. If you don't, you're blind. And I feel sorry for you. But she is freaking gorgeous. Now, although I like to start off with something happy. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, that's Mr. John Doe. He wants to get back on. Mr. John Doe, please, I haven't kicked you out of the group or anything, so please just send another request to join, and you are more than welcome to join us. Come back. Now, I always start off with something happy. By the way, this is a new podcast. This is the KillaKrane Speaks On. It has no connection to any other podcasts or any other productions that I've done. If you would like to join, like I said, go on my Facebook page. It is the KillaKrane Speaks On with ... I think it's 4 of them, okay? Because I'm an overachiever like that. Now, I started with something happy, a birthday. I have to add something sad too. It's not really a death, but it feels like a death. You guys, this is the Family Matters home. On the left is the way it used to be. On the right is what it looks like now. Oh my God, you guys, so many things from our childhood are changing up. Let me get this picture over here. Mr. John Doe is coming back here. Mr. John Doe.
I'm back.
All right, you are back. Like Slim Shady. All right. How are you doing
like
today,
that.
sir? How are you today, sir?
Busy like always. How about yourself?
About the same. So, are you celebrating any of the holidays this year?
Of course.
Okay, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any of them?
Christmas.
Christmas. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right.
Celebrating it with my brother.
Oh. Tell him I said hello. I'm not giving out any names, but tell this brother I said hello.
I will. Picking him up next Friday.
Shut your mouth. Tell him to come holler at me. Now,
okay.
Now, you came in right on time, but it's still a little bit late. I was giving a birthday shout out to this gorgeous young lady right here, Sherry Johnson. She was born on November the 21st, but that is the closest birthday, and which pertains to the TGIF, which we will be speaking of today. She's 48 years sexy. Now, as well, something that feels like a death to me is this right here. You see on the left, you have the Family Matters home. On the right, you have the Family Matters home of what it looks like today. How does that make you feel? Is it a disappointment that you don't care?
It's a disappointment.
Care to further elaborate a little bit?
It's a childhood memory taken away.
I totally agree with you, brother. And if I had the picture pulled up, I would show you how. But you know how the McDonald's used to look back in the day. It was all colorful and red and yellow. Now it looks like an office building. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Same thing. I hate to segue into other stuff, but you know the Nickelodeon Studios. It used to be in Orlando, Florida. Excuse me. It has totally changed. It's now in California somewhere, and it looks like a drab office building as well. I mean, these kids nowadays, you know, you need these bright colors to cheer people up so you can be a child. But it seems like they're sucking all of that out for these new kids. What do you think about that?
I agree. I mean, name brand recognition is I mean, I guess it's still there, but it's not as there as it was for us, I think. But
yeah,
they have much technology's changed a lot.
It has a whole lot. You know, I remember those McDonald days when we get on those, and they were made out of straight up metal. And most of the playground equipment, I hate to segue, but most of the playground equipment we had back in the 80s and 90s, they were all metal, and they knew it was like 97 degrees in the shade, but they still gave us metal playground equipment to play on, you know?
Kids these days aren't as tough and didn't grow up the way we did.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. Ooh, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up right quick. But let's move into the first thing. Now, you know what day this is, right?
Friday.
And that means
tomorrow is Saturday.
Huh?
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Trying to give you a little hint right there.
I see. Yes.
Let me give you a little further hint.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGIF.
Do you remember? You remember that show?
I do.
Okay, let me take this thing off here. There we go. What is your fondest memory? Because TGIF encompassed a lot of shows. For those of you who are too young to remember, TGIF was a series of shows that were showed on Friday nights. They kept changing from season to season, from year to year. What shows do you remember from TGIF?
Full House and Family Matters.
Full House and Family Matters. Those are my two favorite as well. And there were also Perfect Strangers. Interrupt me, please. What else was there? Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
What's the one with Melissa Joan Hart in it? She was a witch or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Mr. L Dog might know. Mr. L Dog.
What's up, man?
What's going on? It is always a pleasure to see you, brother.
Man, what's going on, man? Look, what you got to ask me?
Okay. I just wanted to bring this up. You know, I'm just bring you up to speed. Have you been watching the show so far?
I have.
Okay. You will agree with me that she is 48 years sexy, right?
Pretty much. I mean, look, you know what? I'm gonna put you like this. I mean, for her to be a child star and to look the way how she looks, I mean, it's great. You know, because most of your child stars today, they don't look the same, and they look old, very old.
They do,
like worn out old.
But you know, beauty is always an eye of beholder. But I will agree with you, partial the ways. Now we were talking about the Family Matters home and how what's the word I'm looking for? Dull it looks nowadays, you know, and a lot of things like we mentioned the McDonald's franchises, they used to be colorful and red and yellow. Now they all look like, you know, office buildings or whatever. Any quick thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, because I don't know if you saw it in the chat. I added Wendy's too. Wendy's had Wendy's fries was in that yellow box.
Shut your mouth.
And you knew once you got it, you knew it was good. And so, you know, I mean, and you know what? So all of us right here, I'm assuming all of us are the same age. So I mean, we just all like nostalgic type stuff. Mm-hmm. And so any time that we could sit back and reflect on how it was and how it is now, it's different. It's totally different than night and day, you know.
Man, woo! I could go all day talk about. We're gonna do a lot of nostalgic talk too. We're gonna do other topics and stuff. But I designed this new podcast to have a little fun, to reminisce, and do all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. John Doe, you mentioned Family Matters. I remember when my mom used to say, "Boy, you love that Family Matters show. What's the reason?" And I was like, no reason in particular. Did you have a particular reason why do you love that show?
I thought you liked it because Steve Urkel.
You know what? He did match my personality at the time. So him, that doggone Pee Wee Herman.
I liked it because the father of the show, he seemed like a pretty cool dude.
Oh yeah.
The father plays on one of my favorite movies, Die Hard.
We gonna get on that. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the last things we're gonna talk about today. So I hope you can stick around. But
okay,
we're gonna talk about that. Now, little quiz question. Family Matters was a spinoff of what show?
With Bounty. Dang, I can't remember the name of the show, but I remember it was Bounty.
I watched a special on that, and I can't remember what the name of it is either.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers. My wife said the answer. Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers. Yes. Thank you. Tell your wife I said thank you.
You said you other.
I need to be checking these comments in case somebody's leaving a comment. Oh, somebody already left a comment. Let me see.
Oh man, look.
Let me turn it down. That's my nephew talking about what we talking about. Oh, we are talking about the TGIF lineup from the 80s and 90s, the memories that it brought. Nephew, you used to watch it with us too, you know, reruns and stuff. Do we need a reboot of that show? We're going to talk about the 90s Sears catalog. We're going to talk about Christmas movies, which ones count and which ones don't. So let's go back. What were we talking about? The name Perfect Strangers. Yes. Yeah. Give your wife for me 20 KillaKrane points. She earned them. Huh? Hey, how's it going today?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Give me KillaKrane points and you got 20 of them. Make sure you save it up now to get you something nice. But anyway, I'm gonna just take your word for it. Oh, okay, there you go, Mr. John Doe. So, Family Matters. It was a spinoff of the show Perfect Strangers, and Harriet was a elevator operator. And she used to come in there and talk to Carl used to come in there and talk to her all the time. And so they made a spinoff about it. So yes, that was a spinoff. We were naming other shows on TGIF. So you guys can name them off. We mentioned Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers. What other shows can y'all remember?
Step by step.
Step by step, day by day. Yes, sir. What other shows can you remember from TGIF?
Was Full House wasn't it?
Yep, you're exactly right. Full House.
Okay.
Y'all remember the first time that y'all found out that the star of that show, his stage name was Danny, but what was his real name? He also did America's Funniest Home Videos. God, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. How did y'all feel when y'all first found out that his comedy wasn't exactly G-rated?
I'm kind of surprised.
I mean, you know, people tend to let their hair down, man. I mean, you know, it's not a surprise. You know, people. It's a lot of people who live double lives, and so you know, it's comedy. You know, nonetheless. You know, I mean, I remember Red Fox. Red Fox, you know, he did what he did,
Good
but
example.
you know, but at the time they had records, and so he put all his stuff on wax, and he couldn't say what he wanted to say on Sanford and Son, but he could do it on wax. So I mean,
Him, man, whoever played Esther, I forgot her name, her real name. You still there, brother? Yeah. Esther, you know, on the show, we're segueing again, we're gonna get back there, but she used to play this church-going woman and high glory and all that. But you know, her actual comedy, it was very
nasty.
Yeah, super nasty. I was like, the whole time I was listening to our records, I was like, oh my, it wasn't even like for Red Fox. At least he used innuendos, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, oh my God. I was like, what the world? But yeah, we're segueing off, but we're gonna get back on here. So you mentioned Step by Step. What did you love about that show?
I mean, you know, all those shows, I mean, honestly, I mean, they were family oriented where you could sit down and, you know, and just, you know, you can watch, you know, and you were looking, you wanted to see what was going to happen, you know, the next week. You know, I mean, just shows. I mean, that's what those shows were all about. All those shows were just family oriented shows. You can sit down, you can watch them, you can, you know, I mean, you know, you probably, you know, what had pizza and probably just sat down and just watch them, you know, and you weren't worried about nothing, you know, because look, it was Friday, you had just got out of school, you know, you just wanted to come and just watch TV. That was just it. You know, you ain't had to worry about, you know, the stuff that's on TV right now. You know, you just, you know, I mean, and that's the way how I felt about all the shows in the 80s, like not just on Friday nights, but just, you know, TV in general. I mean, I used to love, even before TGIF, I used to love, honestly, I like watching the Dukes of Hazzard.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. I know because a lot of people had a problem, especially, you know, they say black people shouldn't have watched because they had the Confederate flag. But, you know, it was a great show. To me, I love watching that show. You know, Roscoe Pico Train, you know, and all that, you know.
And you had, you know, because I remember like, you had the Dukes of Hazzard came on, and I think did Dallas come on Friday?
Ooh, I remember watching that with my sisters. You know, Dallas and Who Killed JR and all that stuff.
But you know, but you know that will, you know, like on the 45, you got the B-side. You know what the B-side of Dallas was, don't you? Falcon Crest.
Oh yeah. So what they always snuck in them things like that. Let's let Mr. John Doe speak for a little bit. I think he just muted back in. Mr. John Doe.
I'm still here.
Okay, I want you to chime in. We've been talking for a little bit. We're taking up some time from you, so just any way you want to jump in at.
I'm a man of few words. I just like to throw my little 2 cents in here and there.
Okay.
But like he said, you know, I remember watching those shows before I was too young to get out and cut up. and so those was the shows that we watched, you know, as a family or close to it, you know, on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like Lamar was saying, especially when I used to spend my the weekend over my cousin Clay's house, and my auntie would get us that Pizza Hut pizza. Oh my God, that's another thing. That
Woo, man, that pizza hey, was good back in the day. I don't know what they put in it now, but it was good back in the day, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
those personal pans or something else.
Shut your mouth. You remember we here used to have to read them books and have our teacher sign it to get that personal pan?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
What they used to call that thing?
Scholastic, readathon, some of the other,
Something was like something like that.
like
And,
a readathon or something.
yeah, we had to read all them books.
Star on there.
What'd you say?
It had the little star, like the guy. What was that show called? But it had like the more you know star.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. And then he had all them books that Book It. Book It. That's the name of it.
Okay.
We had to read all those doggone books and get your personal pan. And the pizza they used to give us at Pizza Hut, especially if you sat down and ate, it came in this pan, and it was at the temperature of either Venus or Mercury. That pizza. And you try to eat it because it was so good. You burn your tongue.
Yeah.
Play them video games and stuff, man. Good times, man. Good
Oh
times.
yeah, man.
Ooh,
Speaking of good times, no, we were watching what's happening the other day, man.
Oh yeah. I was speaking about that last time, Norman Lear, and how he passed away and all them shows he made.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad. But let's get back to positive stuff. So did we even speak about Family Matters? I know I'm gonna stay on this a while because this is one of my favorite shows, and it was just about everybody's favorite show on the TGI lineup. Not saying everybody's, but just about everybody's. What was your favorite episode on Family Matters? Both of y'all.
I'm gonna say anything dealing with Urkel and his alter ego.
Oh yeah. You can't do that nowadays because especially my favorite one, now that you mentioned it, was the one with when he changed it to Bruce Lee. And they say you can't do that no more because of cultural appropriation or something like that. But I used to be, here, Bruce Lee,
I think, like I said, and you know what? The reason why I think that a lot of people like that show is because, and especially, you had the Cosby Show that was like upper echelon, and then you had Family Matters that was pretty much like, it was like fun. You can let your hair down. You had the father as a cop. I think a couple though. I think those shows really they had morals. Too. It was a couple of shows where they actually brought the seriousness out. Especially the time when Waldo got arrested, and his dad was like, would you have arrested him if I think he said if he was white or something like that, some pertaining to that,
that was Eddie who got arrested.
That was Eddie, yeah. And all those shows, like I said back in the day, they had morals. They pretty much put things out there for you to kind of make you go,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the reason why, like, those shows like that, have that longevity because they have morals. And like I said, the shows today, they don't have any morals. And like I said, they were family oriented. They, you sat down and, they probably talked about drugs. They probably talked about, sex, and they talked about, this, that, and the third, but they didn't go to the extreme like they go now.
No. They just think you got to be more graphic and stuff nowadays. Now, I do have to give a shout out to the show Blackish. I haven't seen the new one with the girl in it. I have much respect for her too. Oh, and Marseille, what's her name? She's like 19, 20, and she's like the youngest producer that has ever existed or something like that.
Yeah.
She played the little girl on Blackish. None but respect for her. None but respect.
Yeah.
So I like to encourage people like that. So but like you said, there aren't many shows like that. Everybody has to be a drama show. And I'm asking you a question. I know this is kind of an unfair question, but which show do you think was better, The Cosby Show or Family Matters?
I'm going to say The Cosby Show.
Okay.
And then the reason why I'm gonna say The Cosby Show was a little bit better is that The Cosby Show basically introduced us to a whole lot of people. It seemed like I said, The Cosby Show was an upper echelon like type show.
Right.
Because Bill Cosby had the pool. He had Stevie Wonder on the show.
Sorry.
He had Stevie Wonder on the show. I mean, we got a chance to know Dwayne Wayne before, he was Dwayne Wayne.
Right.
And Bill put a lot of people on, not to take away anything, from Family Matters, because all these shows, like I said, they have their place in history. And I just feel like, but if I had to say, The Cosby Show, because Thursday night, I think at that particular time, Thursday night was like a night that everybody, everybody watched TV on Thursday. I think they were going up against Family Ties at the time too.
Yeah.
So,
and then it went against The Simpsons, and I think that's what really killed it.
So I think that, for, the battles that you had to watch, I think, but as far as the show introducing us to different people, to different cultures, because, The Cosby Show, was a show that you had, educated Black individuals,
Right.
and the parents wanted their kids to succeed, and that's the reason why I'm gonna say it. So I'm gonna let John Doe have the floor.
Okay, we got a comment. An unknown Facebook user said, well, they don't have the picture of the name, the Wendy's building too. So we were talking about Wendy's earlier. You were mentioning that. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for whoever made that comment. I really appreciate it. You can do an anonymous comment. I appreciate it. Mr. John Doe, the floor is yours.
Think of there was another show with the tool guy and the guy peeping over the fence.
Tool time.
Yeah, it's on there, but hey, yeah, that was another show from back then also.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That show was funny. That show was funny too.
Right. It wasn't Tool Time. That was the name of the show inside of the show.
Right.
It was Home Improvement.
Improvement. Yep.
Yeah. You used to do that little laugh. Yeah. And it had that cute woman that was like the co-host. She was like the announcer on the show. Everybody liked.
Yep.
You remember her?
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know that Tim Allen, he like went to jail before for selling drugs and something. Hate to bring up people's personal business, but that's a little, I guess, fun fact or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's doing good, they can't stick on somebody's past or whatever.
No.
So we got that show. It was a great show as well. But Boy Meets World was another one.
Sure was.
Yeah. Yes.
So let me ask y'all something. I was going to bring up the topic of reboots. By the way, I'm going to make an announcement. I am writing a continuation of the Family Matters show because honestly, the last episode of that show, it sucked. It left me, I didn't feel anything for it. So I'm writing my own continuation of what happened in that show and why certain characters were omitted for a great little while. So you guys expect that sometime soon in the future. I'm having my beta readers look over it. So
Okay.
anyway, reboots, not continuation, but I think that Girl Meets World is a continuation of Boy Meets World, and Fuller House is a continuation of Full House.
Yeah.
And they were talking about making a continuation where Laura and Steve's children are, doing whatever they do. What do you think? You think they need to?
I think they need to leave stuff alone.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, why do they everything they want to change all the old stuff? Why can't they come up with new stuff?
That's an argument that's been brought forth many a times.
I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I mean, there's plenty of people that do good movies and TVs and stuff out there.
Yep. Yep. What do you think, Lamar?
I think primarily the same way. I think that I mean, I think it'll be cool for like a now it'll be cool for a mini series. Like you remember they used to do miniseries back in the day. They can do it for, just have it maybe, 3-4 shows, something like that. Not have it like a long season, but like a little mini series. I think it'll work, because a lot of people be like, oh man, that's cool. But I don't think that it would, sustain, for a long period of time,
Right.
because, they're still, I think some of them are probably still getting residuals, from the older shows. So,
Right.
but like I said, just like a little mini series. I mean, I think it'll be fine. It's just to see what, how, Urkel and Laura, are doing and everything, and just do a couple of shows and then sign off.
Right. But I guess the way Hollywood is looking at it is like they're not doing too good and they don't want to take a chance on anything new, so they're messing around and trying to capitalize on nostalgia right now. But I will agree that they need to start taking chances. I guess from a business perspective, I have to give them a little bit of a leeway or whatever. Yeah, I hope they start coming out with new stuff. But anyway, any further questions on the TGIF thing?
No, I just feel like, like I said, it has its place in history. Those shows would never be forgotten.
Never.
I mean, they never will. Like, not just the TGIF shows on Friday, but all those shows. But all those shows, that came out during that particular time. Because it was fun times. It was most definitely fun times, and you wanted to watch TV. You didn't want to be on your phone.
Right.
Even though we didn't have phones, but like we have now. But I mean, it was fun times. It was a great time to be alive. I'm just gonna just say it like that.
Ooh, and that was one of the few times where I would select that over my Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever I was playing at the time. And I was addicted to anybody knew me growing up, knew I was straight up addicted to video games. You know what I'm saying? So if you tear me away from video games, it has to be something good. You know what I'm saying? So those were the days, yes.
Yeah.
I was an outside kid. I was always outside. You may or may not know that, but came
Right.
in to watch those shows.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said I came in to watch those shows, but I was if it wasn't if those shows wasn't on, I was outside.
Mm-hmm. You always had to and you know, there's a series on YouTube. I'm gonna give this guy a plug-in. It was like, I cannot remember the name of it, but if you type in like, when did this show actually die? And he does like Fresh Prince, Family Matters, and you know, it had like 8 seasons, but I think that this was the season where Family Matters died. And I think he said like after the wedding that after what's his name, Mother Winslow got married, they think that the show went down. And who else? Were Fresh Prince? It went down after a certain season. But anyway, just look that up, guys. It's an excellent series. I hate to plug in without any names, but yeah, I will agree though. Those shows, unfortunately, they had a shelf life. And after a while, the jokes got kind of old, and you know, the whole shtick got old, and they try to bring in new characters, but you know, nothing can last forever.
No. No.
But great times, great times.
Yeah. Yeah, great times.
Speaking of which, let's move on to the next subject. Now, you guys nowadays, you, I guess, not millennials. What are the ones that were born after 95? Is that the millennials?
Yeah, I think so.
I get it confused. To me, the timeline is all screwed up. Millennials should be anybody born after 2000 because that's the start of the new millennium. So I don't know where the hell they're getting all these from. And Generation X should be us. Oh, but yes, I prematurely did that. But before we had Amazon, we had this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was the, and look, the name was fitting. Wish Book, because you wished you could have all the toys that you wanted in there. So it was fiddly put together.
Right. Speaking of which, I have that book here.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I'm going to try to flip through it. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but just tell me like which page I want me to stop at and all these things. So here's a doll of some sort. What's on here? It's a CD player. Oh my God. And this technology, the way it's changed since, you know, all this. Let me see if I can do it a little bit better. Got some little Christmas sweaters on here. What else we got? I got some jewelry. Stop me at any point if you have a certain place you want me to turn to.
You know what? The actual I used to love the race car track. You know, you put the track together and you know, hold the thing in your hand and it goes around and around in the track.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Them PJs. Like that meme said, you can look at that and it smell like pee already.
Wow.
See, this back when girls used to dress like girls. If they was 12 years old, they used to dress like 12-year-old girls.
Man,
nowadays, I don't know what the hell is going on. Strippers and stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, like I said, guys, as I'm flipping through, please stop me, or if you have a request, we're gonna get around to the toys and video games. Look at Chicago Bulls. Everybody used to love the Bulls back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean those football sweaters, you know, but you know what though? I mean, that right there is priceless because you had the Barbies. I mean, you had all that you know, in there. And you look, how did you ever keep that book in mint condition? Because
2 syllables. eBay.
oh, okay.
Mine got lost and tore up, and so I went on there. This joint cost me about $70-$80, but
What?
it was well worth it. Yep, it was my
Wow.
a few years back. Look at them baseball cards.
Now I used to collect baseball cards.
I did too. I sure did. Oh, I got to stop here, brother. I got to stop here.
Man, look. I'm gonna get you.
Where'd
So
you
how
finna get
about
me?
my cousin? My cousin got me a Nintendo with like all the games on there.
Oh, one of those. I got one of those. It's over there somewhere. I wish I'm gonna get up and get it in a minute. Yeah, it's like 500 games that you can get on the little.
Yeah.
I built one of those a couple years ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, a little Raspberry Pi box. All the Mike Tyson Punch Out, Super Mario, and all of them.
Ooh, like that guy
Wow.
said on Rush Hour. Now you speaking my language. Yep, Mike Tyson Punch Out. That used to be my game right there.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman.
Yes, sir. Hey, I don't know if y'all remember, but the first excuse me, tongue twisted. The first Batman movie did real good. So
Yep.
they let Tim Burton totally take over the second movie. And McDonald's was like, we're going to capitalize on this before anybody else gets on it. So they started making the toys for the movie. And then the movie came out, and it was really, I guess some people think it was really grotesque. So it was like, we did all these toys for these kids. And, yeah, it was kind of gross. But I loved it. I love Batman Return. We're going to talk about that too. So I'm just flipping through pages here. Some of these kids.
Man, you know what? Man, I forgot all about the bikes. Man, oh my gosh. Man, you know what? That was the thing to have. Like, if you wanted to, like, you had the video games, but if you wanted to go outside and be outside, that was nothing like having a bike to ride.
That was our social media, brother.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. They still make those things today. They ain't 149 no more though.
Oh no, these prices have been done changed. A bunch of books and stuff. I don't know if y'all ever read any of these. I didn't.
The old GTs and Mongooses and all those Haro bikes. They're a few thousand now if you can find one. I had an old GT Performer. This is my daddy's shop, but they're very expensive now.
Oh wait, those were classic bikes right there. If you had that, you was pimping.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Hey, go back. Hey, stay right there for a second. Go back.
Here?
Yeah, stay right there and go up to the top. Like, so my grandmother used to make little stuff like that, man. Like those, like those like those snowmen. Yeah, she used to make them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never met your grandma. I mean, your mama. Well, I met your mom and dad, but I've never met your grandma.
Yeah.
Old coffee makers and such.
Oh yeah, man. We ain't graduated from that now.
Right.
We got the Keurig now. I mean, and you run into.
Remember them?
You know what? Never had one. I mean, I had the regular phone, but I ain't had the phone with like the picture on there. You run it through all this nostalgic stuff, and it, like you just said, it's amazing how things have changed. I mean, it's just amazing.
It is, and you thought that like you couldn't get no better than these portable TVs and stuff. Now everybody got a TV in their hand,
Yup. Literally.
Let's see what else on here.
like,
Oh,
like when your show started, I was on my phone. I mean, on my watch.
oh yeah.
Look, hey. So let me tell you about all of that on that page right there.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean the whole 2 pages. Let me tell you about that right there, man. So I had a Walkman, and so my dad used to come up to Memphis every almost every Thursday.
Uh-huh.
So I had, my dad listened to WDIA. I didn't mind listening to WDIA, but I ain't want to listen to it all the time because that's what we listen to going and coming back.
Mhm.
So at that particular time and moment, I decided, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a tape. So I made tapes, put in my Walkman, and I listened to my own music.
Yep.
I said,
mixtape.
yeah, I said in the back seat and listen to my own music. And occasionally from time to time out, if something, came on WDIA, I stopped. But man, and as far as like radios and stuff, oh my gosh, yes, I was the mixtape king. As a matter of fact, I still got some cassette tapes right now as we speak.
Ooh, I thought I was the only one. I'm glad.
No, sir. No,
Look,
sir.
look, Lamar.
I got a funny story about that.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So, do you remember when Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style came out on CD?
Yes, sir.
right.
Okay, so I went to the store because I wanted to buy those too, right when they came out. And so we went to the store. My grandmother took me, and when I went to the register, I'll never forget. They was like, "Are you here by yourself?" I was like, "No, I'm not old enough to drive." They said, "Well, you have a parent here?" And I was like, "Yeah, my grandmother's standing right there." Of course, she's standing over there. They look over at her. I say, "There she is," and she waves at them. And then I buy the CDs and go about my business. Well, I didn't realize that the little explicit lyrics thing meant. So we get the group get to my grandma's house. I had the little CD Walkman, and she said, "Let me hear what you bought." And I was like, "Okay." Well, I also bought a country CD, so I put the Dr. Dre CD in, and I started listening. I was like, "Hold on, let me get to a song on that." So I started listening to it, and of course, the language is out there, and I was like, hold on, let me swap." So and let her listen to that. But for the longest, I mean, for years, I had no clue why they was asking, was my grandmother there? But it was because obviously I was under the age to purchase it.
Wow. Wow.
I would love to see your grandma.
And she had no idea what CD she just bought for me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. I would love to see your grandma's face if she heard actually that. I remember doing that, you remember that Teddy Ruxpin doll?
Yeah.
And how you could put tapes in him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take that Teddy Ruxpin tape out and put in Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and stuff.
I would have never thought about to do that. So I was wait a minute. So man, wait a minute. So Teddy Ruxpin was cussing.
Yep. Yeah, I made him cuss. That part was Snoop like, biatch, it was funny. Yeah. See Teddy Ruxpin doing that. Bruh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I would have never thought to do that. That's wild, man.
Man, that was when rap first started off. Oh, let me show y'all some more.
Oh man. That's what's up right there.
Mm-hmm. And stereo systems and
man,
stuff.
If you had the speakers, man, woo.
The speakers?
Yeah. If you had, man, your whole house gonna shake.
Uh-huh.
You talking about a house party, man. That was a house party for real.
Fidelsky and them used to make fun of me when I had that Ford Granada, and I used to put speakers like this inside of it. But it used to bump, you know what I'm saying? That Ford Granada I had. That little joint used to bump.
But
Top
yeah,
rollers. Yep. So that's the book. Like you were saying, it was a wish catalog because a lot of us times we would wish we could get everything up in there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? Like I said, you primarily, you didn't. That was the other thing too. I mean, you went to the store, with your mom, with your dad, be like, hey, I want this, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? You reminded them of what you wanted by that book.
Mhm.
That book was, I mean, man, look, I know, women was, because you showed the shirts and, the different accessories, and stuff. But man, when the kids got a hold of it, man, they showed their mom and their dad every day. This is what I want right here. I mean, from the time that book came out all the way up until Christmas, every day.
Every single day.
Every single day. It was like, man, I mean, but you know what though? But see, that was the thing though, man. Like kids actually dreamed about what they want. And that's what they thought about. They thought about toys. Like now, they don't think about toys, anymore. I mean, they think about, video games, of course. And, what John Doe was saying, about the even now with the video games, you got to have a parent present to buy those video games.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's still going on, but the parents, they'll go and buy it because, they want to get the kid out their hair, Well, yeah, you gonna play this video game, boy, and I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna go, So a lot of times, they really don't care.
No, they don't.
So
keep them occupied, huh?
Yeah, just something to keep them occupied and whatnot, So
Yep. Mr. John Doe, thoughts? I hadn't heard from you in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Any thoughts on anything he was talking about?
Oh, he's exactly right. I remember because my parents, when I would have the that wish book, they'd always say write down the page number and circle it. So that's what we had to do. What we wanted, we'd write down the page number and circle whatever item number it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then and one of the, now this is I'll probably totally off the subject, but one of the places that we used to always go is to Memphis. We go to Sears and we go to Service Merchandise. That was the other store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember going in the Mall of Memphis to it was either Toys R Us or KB Toy Stores inside of there. I think it was KB.
Shoot, it might have been both.
Might have been both.
It might have been both in there.
Man, y'all remember the Memphis Mall, right?
The Mall of Memphis, yes, sir.
Oh man,
I go by it all the time. Or what was it? Where it was?
Right. I remember they had something called the Memphis After Midnight, and then they had the whole Memphis Mall for us. We were in the Explorer Scouts or whatever, and you had the little thing Memphis After Midnight, and then we had ice skating. Had the first time I ever experienced Sparrow's Pizza, SBARRO Pizza.
You remember Spiral's Pizza?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Stromboli.
Is that my wife said the Stromboli was great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to try some of everything in there. It was great. They still got them nowadays, but of course not as good as they used to be. But it does good enough to bring back some memories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mr. Scott, I'm gonna have to cut out, man. We finna get ready to have dinner.
Okay.
And chill out, man. Man, as always, man, I thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
Okay.
Man, you know what? I really enjoy this. taking the trip down memory lane and everything. But to answer your question about the Christmas movies, just to hop on, Die Hard, the
Die
best.
Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask you real quick.
Okay.
1 minute. Just what do you think about this one? Is this a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
I mean, if you wanted it to be, you know, the thing that, and I know I'm jumping. I remember back in the day, they used to show Frosty the Snowman. They used to show all those Christmas movies the week of Christmas.
They did.
Why in the hell now do they show those movies a whole month or the beginning of December? That's just odd to me. Like, why would you even do that? Like, you killing, like, you. It's like they have no problem with killing nostalgia. Like, they really don't. Like, they used to show like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They used to show all the movies like the week of Christmas. And it kind of, it got the kids, you know. You had, look, check this out. You had the book that you just showed us, the movies. You're sitting down eating chocolate chip cookies. That was Christmas, man. Like, that was Christmas, like, for us. Like, being a kid, like, those were the times. Like, those shows put us really in the mood for Christmas. Like, it really let you know, like, now, us being grown, unless you got kids, you ain't really worried about Christmas because you just working. Like, now we just working. Like, oh, before you know it, December 25th. Oh, snap.
Yep.
It don't really put you in the spirit, you know, of what's what. But look, like I said, I gotta go, man. Hey, keep up the good work, man. You're doing great.
I appreciate it, man. We're gonna have other little fun activities and stuff like that again. So every Friday, 7 p.m. I'm not sure, you know, if everybody wants to go on since it's so close to Christmas, but we might do one more episode, and next year we're gonna really have some good times. So I really appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. I look forward to it.
All right, take it easy, brother.
All right, later.
So I do want to say to everybody still watching, this is exactly the reason why, you know, Lamar was talking about when you're grown, it's hard to get back in that Christmas spirit, you know, and I'm in an apartment now and, you know, I don't have a fireplace. So I'm trying my best to get that Christmas spirit back. You know what I'm saying? So what about you, John Doe? Do you have the Christmas spirit this year or?
I don't. Typically, I'm not a Christmas type dude, but I actually kind of do this year. So,
okay. Let's see. Let's go with you. This movie right here. Do you consider that a Christmas movie?
I think it's supposed to be.
Okay. Well, for you, I'm not whether it's supposed to be. What do you consider it a Christmas movie?
Well, I don't watch movies, so I don't even know if I've seen that movie.
Okay. It's a cute little movie. Let's see. For those who are watching too, have you seen this movie before?
Yeah, I have seen that one, I believe.
Is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
A Christmas movie.
Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Okay. What about this one right here?
No, that's not a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie? Okay.
That's just a movie.
That's just a movie, okay. Actually, they had a Christmas special off of this. I'm gonna just show it anyway because they had a Christmas special. I couldn't find the Christmas version, but I did find this one.
No, that's just a movie.
Not a Christmas movie?
Negative.
What about Die Hard?
Of course.
You consider that a Christmas movie?
How much more Christmas do you want to get?
A lot of people say, I don't know. I don't know what their objection to, but I totally agree with you. It is a Christmas movie, and there's some other ones. Let me see if I can find my other Christmas movies around here. I think that's about it. What about the movie? What was the name of it? Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
I don't know if I know that movie.
It's the one where how did it go? These two dudes, rich dudes, made a bet that they could destroy the rich dude's life and switch it with the poor dude, and
That sounds familiar.
yeah, it was all for $1.
I think so.
Yeah, so it had Christmas in it and had New Year's as well. You know what I'm saying? So people kind of debate whether that was a Christmas movie, and I guess each movie that has some Christmas in it, some kind of way, people try to say it's a Christmas movie or something.
I think it may be that not necessarily that it's a Christmas movie to everyone, but it may be something that they watched on Christmas. So,
I see.
Like part of their childhood memories, because different people have different traditions, I guess you would say.
That makes sense. Oh, by the way, this was the movie I was talking about.
Which one?
Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not a movie person, so.
Oh, okay.
90% of movies that you're going to say, I probably haven't seen.
Have you seen Batman Returns?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you would have known it. Yeah, it has a lot of Christmas in it as well. Do you remember a lot of Christmas commercials back in the day?
I'm sure I would if I saw them.
Like the one of the most famous ones I can remember is the Flintstone ones. The season's greetings in our soul. Give me fruity pebbles in our bowl. You remember that commercial?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So I remember that one. What's another good Christmas? Interrupt me, please. See, that's like the polar bear one for Coca-Cola. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Okay, you remember that one. There was the one with the Hershey's Kisses, and they were doing the little ding 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 ding.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You remember that one?
So I think I thought that was a Super Bowl.
Well, no, it was they were playing We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of Super Bowl commercials like the Budweiser one. Budweiser did tons of them. Let me see. I'm trying to think of some.
Yeah, a coworker reminded me of the Budweiser one that played for the Super Bowl. Then they pulled it because they said it was too controversial.
Which one was that?
It was the one where, no, it wasn't a Budweiser. It was a Trojan commercial.
Okay.
So I can't remember exactly how it went, but the guy and the girl start talking, anyway, they go back and they when they get to her house, before the moment needing the Trojan, the girl walks to the bathroom and stands up and pees. And then they the commercial goes away.
Oh, I have not seen. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, I'll try to find it and I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, we can have a little discussion on the best, Super Bowl commercials, and we'll do that around like Super Bowl time or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big sports fan, but I do, things associated with sports and stuff like that, commercials and video games and stuff like that. So I can always do that. Let me see. What are some other good commercials? Let me see. Good Christmas commercials that people remember. and use it for every product. Oh, there was an M&M's one where Santa Claus comes in and sees the M&Ms, and then they was like, Santa Claus does exist, and then Santa Claus points at the M&M and says they do exist, and they both pass out.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest ones. Let me see what else. There was a 7-Up. I was trying to say Sprite. I'm sure Sprite did Christmas commercials too, but there was a 7-Up commercial with the little red circles or whatever. I forgot what to call them things. The little 7-Up red circles. You know them things? Hello? Oh.
Not that I can remember.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's about it that I can remember, like Christmas commercials. Any special Christmas memories that you have?
Not that comes to mind.
None that come to mind. Okay. Ugh. So I guess for me, we always went to Mount Bayou, Mississippi on Christmas. Of course, opening presents this morning was always a requirement. And after that, later on that day, we would always eat my grandma's cooking, which she was master chef. You know what I'm saying? So, in a small town like Mount Bayou, you had to know how to cook in the country. You know what I'm saying? And so, hanging out with my cousins and playing with our new toys or whatever, just excellent times. What else? I can't really think of anything else, any other Christmas memories or anything like that. But so we might have to wrap this up a little early. I think I have exhausted all of the topics that I was going to talk about today. Do you have any extended thoughts on anything that we talked about so far?
No, sir. Other than the Lakers are getting beat pretty bad right now.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah. But that's about it.
Huh?
So that's about it.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched sports in so long. I wouldn't even know one player that was on.
You're missing out.
Is LeBron James still playing?
He is still playing.
What about that Dwayne Wade guy?
No, Dwayne Wade, he retired a few years ago.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Other than those two, I couldn't tell you one basketball player or a football player, to be honest with you. I just haven't been keeping up with much of them at all. Yep. I guess we're gonna go ahead, unless you have any final thoughts or anything you wanted to further talk about, or if we have any comments. I don't see any comments here. I guess we can kind of cut it off. Any ideas? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just okay.
Now, any ideas for the next podcast or any podcast in the future?
I'll have to think on it.
Okay. And if any of you watching have any topics that you guys want to talk about, please, you can email them to me at KillaKrane Productions. That's KillaKrane Productions at gmail.com. You can always go on my YouTube channel, which is KillaKrane Productions, KillaKrane Productions. You can leave comments there. I'm not really active on Twitter. It got a little weird for me, so I had to quit that. I am on Instagram. It's under Vinaris KillaKrane Productions. That's VINARIS KillaKrane Productions. And that's on my Instagram page. YouTube, I'm sorry, Facebook is KillaKrane KillaKrane Speaks On. So KillaKrane Speaks On. It has some dots. That's the name of the group or the chat or whatever you call that. So like I said, I don't have any announcements. I'm still working on the what do you call that? The voiceover. I'm doing a voiceover thing, like an animated thing for my book, Planet Football and the Heretic Kitten. I'm probably going to do another voiceover for my book. What's the name of it? Blackjack and the Beanstalk. I can't remember my own books. And I am doing that continuation of Family Matters. If you guys have any ideas for anything that you guys want me to speak on, I have done a lot of fan fiction and stuff like that. So if you have some fan fiction you want me to speak on, let me know. Or any YouTube videos you want me to do. But other than that, guys, I think that's it. Brian, I'm sorry, John Doe, did you want me to leave any contact information?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So we are going to wrap this up. And I appreciate my guest tonight, Mr. John Doe. I appreciate the L Dog, Lamar Hicks. He has a podcast called Flavor in Your Ear. So you can Google that and be looking out for that. Anything else before we close out? Anything else, John, before we close out?
Go Grizz.
I heard that. All right, y'all. I should be on next Friday, 7 p.m. If I don't, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. You guys have a wonderful and safe holiday season. Thank you very much. Take it easy, guys.